This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Power on. Power on.
It's time to take your place on the starting grid and get ready for Racer Radio. Your host, Dave Stahl, about to take you for a white-knuckled lap around the motorsports industry, covering everything from top-notch national drivers and crew chiefs right down to your local kid racers and racetracks. Watch for the apex, because here comes Racer Radio with Dave Stahl.
All right, folks, welcome. This is Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The answer.
That's my girl, Brittany. She's in the house as well. All right, we got Leah Pruett, NHRA Top Fuel driver, also with SRT Mopar. Take a listen.
All right, folks. Well, guess what? NHRA has finally pulled the plug. They're starting to race. Yeah, they got limited fans, but all the drivers were just itching to get back out there. And we've got Leah Pritchard. She's online with us, NHRA Top Fuel driver. And it's just a joy. Plus, I've got Brittany Sandoval on the line. Leah, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. Just gearing up for the second Indy weekend of the year. Pumped. Definitely ready to rip it in the Mopar Dragster this weekend and factory stock. How are you guys?
We're doing good. So I didn't know you were running factory stock as well. What prompted you to do that?
Well, this would actually be my third, possibly my fourth overall season with Samtech Factory Stock Showdown Series. We actually weren't able to run any races yet in the 2020 season. So when we start this Indy second weekend, that's when we'll have our first of 8. And we were the 2018 World Champions with Mopar SRT. 2019, we were in the process of developing a new 2020 car, which has kind of been put on the back burner. So we've got our 2019 setup. We're fixing to get out there and give the Copo Camaros and Cobra Jets as much heck as we can. Meanwhile, we've got an incredible new paint livery on the Top Fuel car. Have you guys seen that yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
I was thinking about that. Dave, you're sporting a 2020 Dodge Challenger this week, and then Leah, you have this beautiful Hellcat Red Eye scheme. Come on, guys, I'm feeling slow. You guys are looking and probably feeling fast this week.
I know that we're feeling fast. So DSR, they actually have their own in-house livery and printers and all of that. And so Dodge, they designed the Top Fuel car for myself, and of course Matt Higgins, that Charger for the Red Eye. So they match each other. And upon Dodge's 797 Red Eye that was revealed a couple weeks ago, like talk about the fastest sedan. Now I'm not in a sedan, I'm in a dragster, but I love. Ultimately, I know what I do is the fastest and most accelerating sport altogether. But when you pair that with a company that not only breathes and lives, that we share that same audience and we share the same experience. So I feel like when I'm in the chrome red and the matte black car this weekend, I'm just going to feel extra fast. And I feel like I'm going to be fast for the people. So it's a very cool feeling.
Yeah, beautiful scheme.
So while you've been sitting home getting through this pandemic, I understand you've been working feverishly with a nonprofit. You want to talk a little bit about?
Sure thing, absolutely. So I live in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's about 2.5 hours south of Las Vegas, 3.5, 4 hours west of Phoenix. And, the pandemic hit all the states all different times. And there were a very few number of food banks in the county that I had lived in. And I thought, man, all right, how do I have a really wonderful following of fans, a great reach through Mopar, Dodge, Hoonigan, and, I'm missing something here. How can I actually help? So Cameo is an app that anybody can download. And let's just say, I don't know, besides myself, they love Snoop Dogg, right? You're like, I'll never be able to get in touch with Snoop Dogg. Well, on this app, you can put in a request to contact with Snoop Dogg, and he'll make a video for you or someone, your friend, and go like, hey, you love Snoop Dogg. I would love for him to say, happy 48th birthday and, go get him good luck running your Challenger this weekend. Make that video for a certain dollar amount. So I put it out there. It's the opportunity for me to make videos for people, whether it's good luck racing, congratulations on graduating, if you're, sick, how to, let's stay healthy together. So raised over about $3,000 within 10 days of really pushing that out for the food bank in Lake Havasu City, which really was able to feed, I think we were at 800 families over that 2 weeks because of how low St. Mary's is able to sell, eggs and bread, and the cost of food is so low thanks to them that we were able to feed so many families by the videos that we made from the fans. So it's really a thank you to the fans for participating and making a difference in the people's lives.
That is so.
That's awesome.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, racers are probably the most giving group of people on the planet. I think every single driver, I don't care what sport you're in, always bends over backwards to give back to the community. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I definitely would, and I think that's because we know that we get to take something very unique, and what that is the experience of driving that car. And I believe that the fans and people in general know that's where they're fans, something very unique and high level is happening, and we're experiencing on both sides of things. And, we can't do what we do and as drivers, what we love, without the fans. And, we can't, if we could put them inside our race car and take them along the track with us, we would. But I think the closest thing we can do is anytime we see an opportunity to make someone's day, to send that picture, digital sign. We had a couple Mopar digital autograph sessions during quarantine, to help people in whatever way that we can when we're not doing one of the most thrilling things in the world. And we are all very grounded, except if we're catching a wheelie out there in the factory stock car. But other than that,
Hey, Leah, kind of explain, because I've had a couple people. I was at the dentist this morning. I'm talking to my dentist, and I told him I was interviewing you today, and he goes, what is it when they get out of the car, they're huffing and puffing like they just ran a marathon?
That's funny.
Want to explain that to the listeners?
Sure. So the actual run time of a top fuel car and funny car from the time you fire it up to turn out at the top end is about 2.5 minutes. So in that, right before then, you have a ton of adrenaline, and you are practicing your breathing to be able to bring your heart rate down and your breathing down to what you feel is most ideal. And then you've got pretty much 12,000 horsepower firing up in front of you, behind you. And so not only idling with that, burning out with that, moving forward, a lot of high-pressure situations on the line. But to be honest, when we hit the throttle, no one is inhaling at that time. I feel like a lot of racers probably leave, the explosion of the throttle on the exhale. So you have the exhale and you're going 330 miles an hour in 3.7 seconds, and you're having almost 6.5 G-forces pressed against your body as you're exhaling. It's going to take your breath away.
Literally, yeah.
And so that is what happens. And so when you pull the parachute, you release the throttle, pull the parachute, you're on the shutdown, you're looking for that win light. You heard the car next to you, you think you won, you're excited. And at that point, you finally get to take that breath coming in. And on top of that, we're really hotter than heck because we got all those fireproof impact safety equipment on. And you're excited because you won and you've got 55 minutes to turn around, and you know that TV is going to give you 15 seconds to get in everything that you want to say. I think that's why it's really condensed. And to that point, like we were told last year, if you've got an interview that's going on 30 seconds, 35, because for me, I love to talk about the run or the car, what happened, or what that competition sequence was like. And then, of course, you've got your partners and your fans there, and, maybe like we've got our new livery this weekend, or, we have limited fans and how cool they were and respecting the mask. Can't fit all that in, and you go over 30 seconds and they cut your interview. So, like, you've got to prioritize after going 330 miles an hour and you think about the media side of things. So you got to stay fast-paced, and sometimes that's why our lips probably smack really fast at the top end.
Well, and your crew chief is sitting there going, come on, we got to turn around, come on.
Well, if we don't get an interview, that means we're having a bad day. The best scenario is that the team leaves with the race car, goes back to the pit, and we're waiting for one of those beautiful times where we can share our excitement with the fans that can't come to the race, but we're on Fox Sports or Fox Sports 1 or Fox Network, and it's a beautiful thing when you get that TV time, because it's not from like ego time of like liking to be on TV, but like just sharing with the world how great I think our sport is and the excitement. And I want to give a huge high five to everyone listening, everyone at the NHRA, partners, media alike, that have helped put on what I think was a very successful Major League Motorsport event with fans at post-quarantine.
Yeah, totally great. And I just have to throw a little compliment out. Whether you win, lose, make a mistake, don't get a good ET light, you're always very upbeat and positive. Yeah, you kind of beat yourself up a little bit, but you don't blame anybody other than, if it was your mistake, you step up to the plate and you take it. And that's an attribute. Not a lot of drivers will do that. And I think that's a real, testament to you, your teamwork and working with your team. And last but not least, before we go, who's the sponsor on your Top Fuel car?
Well, we've got the Dodge SRT Red Eye Charger this weekend, loud and proud. So that's who you guys should be looking for, that bright chrome red and that matte black. First one to the finish line 4 times on Sunday. That's what we're talking about.
All right, well, now I'm done talking to you. I'm going to go jump in my 392 Scat Pack and see if I can have a nice cruise to the mountains today. Leah, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to call us, and I know you just made Brittany's day.
Yeah, pleasure to hear you.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Brittany. Thanks all the fans for tuning in, and you guys have a fast weekend.
This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl. Sponsored by Dave Stahl. Sponsored by Dave Stahl. Sponsored by Dave Stahl. Sponsored by Dave Stahl.